AI might not take over the world yet, but can it take your job as a CPA? It seems like a force that can't be stopped. So I'm going to explain how worried you should be and why AI actually isn't even the biggest threat to accountants today. Let's get into it. So the question is, will AI replace accountants? And the answer is yes, because in the long term, I think everyone's going to be replaced by AI. So that's just something we all have to deal with. But in terms of our lifetime, will we be replaced by AI? That's the important question here. So far, AI has just made the lives of accountants much easier. We have improved accuracy and efficiency with tools like Data Snipper. ChatGPT and similar tools allow us to get first drafts of emails and work papers done very quickly. And just in general, the time to complete and review tasks has been cut down significantly because of AI. So it's a great thing. It's made our lives so much easier, which is awesome, and so far has killed zero accountants. It's just taken the tedious work that really takes not much skill to do in the first place, and it reduces it significantly. And that's amazing. It's freed accountants from the silly, tedious work that we've always been forced to do, and it's automated it. But on the flip side of that argument, things are just going to get better and better and better before eventually, the important tasks are being taken by AI. That is the argument against the advancement of AI, which is very true, and I agree with that. But I have two notes on that. For one, this is just not exclusive to only accountants. It's going to impact every industry in the entire world, especially the business world. It's not just accountants who are being faced with this. Everything's going to be taken by AI. It's really just a question of how quickly it happens. And number two, I could even argue that this is a positive thing for accountants. As more and more of their tasks get taken up by AI, it's going to free accountants to become even more valuable than they already are. Warren Buffett has famously said that accounting is the language of business. And I like to add to that CPAs speak that language fluently. And that just paints a picture of how important CPAs are to the business world. No one understands business inside and out like a CPA does. And right now, accountants and CPAs, they get, memed for being bean counters and things like that, being boring, whatever, which is true to an extent. But like I said, AI is going to be taking those tasks more and more, which frees accountants who speak the language of business, know business inside and out, to do more important things. They're going to be able to fill roles that are more forward thinking and, analytical and not so much bean counting, which I think is amazing and really, makes use of the knowledge and talent that accountants and CPAs have. So ironically, even though AI has been touted as the death of all accountants, it could be one of the best things to ever happen to the industry. But it is contingent on two big things. Thing number one is that you like this video and subscribe to this channel. And thing number two is that it's handled very efficiently and effectively by the governing bodies and the accounting industry in general. And unfortunately, this is a big if, because as we all know, the governing bodies and accounting industry has not always been handled in the most effective way possible. There's a lot of things that are being talked about right now, which will hopefully change, like the 150 credit rule and a couple other things. And it's just, industries, they take a while to change. Things go slowly. But if the accounting industry can, be on top of this and be looking forward and seeing where AI is going and how they can, use that to their advantage, this could actually be a great thing for accountants. But like I mentioned at the start of this video, there's actually something that I think is an even bigger threat to accountants than AI, and less people are talking about this. And yes, there are issues with the 150 credit rule, the low starting salaries, and things like that. But the thing that I think is the biggest threat to accountants, at least in North America, is the outsourcing of work to lower cost of labor countries. This has been something that the big firms in the US have been doing a lot over the past few years. They're taking a lot of their work and they're outsourcing it to countries like India, the Philippines, and other countries where, the labor isn't as costly, which, like I always say, they're a business, they're just doing what businesses do, they're finding the cheapest labor. But it is something that people should be aware of, because like I said, people always talk about, oh, is AI killing accounting? And they have all these other questions, but I feel like not that many people are focusing on the fact that a lot of these firms, the work isn't being taken away because AI is taking the jobs. It's because they're taking the work and giving it to other countries, which, like I said, they're business, that's what they're doing. But if organizations like the AICPA are actually concerned with, accountants in America, then it's definitely something that should be on their radar. And if you're an accounting student in America, it's something that should be on your radar as well. And if you're an accountant from outside of the US, this should be on your radar as well because, you know, more work is coming to you. So like this is a positive thing for you. So it's something everyone should be aware of. You know, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a thing and you should know about it. I do want to note there are signs of progress though, especially with the 150 hours rule. This is getting a lot of talk. People really want to change this, and you know, the chairman of KPMG has even come out against it. So, you know, firms in the industry are talking about it. Low starting salaries, it's been an issue for a couple of years, but firms are hopefully starting to wake up to this. EY, I think, is raising starting salaries by like 10%. So hopefully that, you know, sets an example for the rest of the industry. And this is something that changes because less and less people are being attracted to the accounting profession these days. And it's for reasons like that. So if the firms and the industry become aware of these things and make changes, it could definitely be positive for all accountants and future accountants out there. So even though the accounting industry is not perfect, as I've already indicated, I do think there's a lot of potential for it, and I really hold the belief that a CPA license is extremely valuable. I mean, Warren Buffett said it himself, accounting is the language of business. I said it as well, CPAs speak that language fluently. You know, I really believe that if you have a CPA license, it gives you so many opportunities, so many options, no matter what is going on, whether AI is on the rise or, you know, firms are outsourcing work, like you're still going to be a very valuable person to any business just because of your skill set and your knowledge. You know, the job role, the description might change over the coming years, but one thing will never change. CPAs know business, and businesses need that. They need people who know things inside and out, and that's exactly what a CPA does. So like I said, I'm not saying any of these things are good or bad. They're just things that you should know. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would really appreciate if you left a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. And until then, I will see you next time. Peace.